Welcome back, and thank you for your patience. I know these have been slower to come than usual. So I'm going to do a very short intro this time because I know I can talk way too much. So the offer is the same as before. We have a Remedies webinar coming up now this week on the 23rd of September. And this is recommended for those who want to learn about how to transmute energy, how to see what energy is playing out in your chart and in your destiny, and to transmute that to get the best positive manifestations of your chart. So if you have difficult placements, this is a good way to learn how you can change the energy around to get the best of what your chart is offering you, how to make the best of your talents, how to neutralize your challenges. So yes, also good for learning astrology in general. It's good if you are into esoteric sciences in general, if you're into alchemy, learning how to take your power back and not feel restricted by what's in your chart, but rather see it as a playing field where you have your limitations, where you can make the best of what you have. So the Remedies webinar is on the 23rd this week, and the information for signing up is in the description box. Thank you for the wonderful questions this week. They are really good. I'm really excited about some of these. I'm really looking forward to channeling them. Let's start with one that I felt is really, really relevant right now. It is about how to express compassion, how to be compassionate with somebody who was going through a difficult time without attracting the same things. How to express compassion, how to feel for other people, listen to other people's issues without it being a negative attraction point. So how can you be supportive and listen to somebody's problem in the best possible way? We often feel that when we are listening to someone's problems, that we owe them our sadness, as if us feeling sad for them would help comfort them, when in reality that doesn't do anything for them, apart from give them an indication that we do care. So what we can do instead is to acknowledge the difficulties they are going through and hold the awareness in our hearts that they are going through a very important step in their path that is beneficial for their particular path. Each challenge that every person is going through has a purpose. We must hold that awareness in our hearts when we listen to people's difficulties, that each challenge they are going through is an important step for them to move forward on their path, and each challenge will come with their blessings. Usually when people express their problems or their sadness, their focus is on the aspect of the issue that is painful. They are usually not telling you the aspect that is beneficial or a blessing. They are only talking about the part that is painful. Hold that awareness in your heart, that even though aspects of what they are going through are painful, there is also a great blessing they are receiving while going through this. And know that even the painful part, even the pain has a purpose to teach them something, for them to learn something that takes them further, or to make them adapt what they are doing or adjust their path to get back on the right path for them. Without pain, we don't know when we are on the wrong path. And so the pain is an indication that someone has taken a wrong turn. It can be an indication of other things, but oftentimes It can indicate that someone took a wrong step that is not beneficial for them, and the pain will steer them back into the most blessed path for them. So when you hear of somebody's issue, instead of thinking how awful this is and feeling sorry for them, you must instead be grateful for the learning that they are doing, and if possible, your awareness of the rightness of their path, of them being right where they need to be, your awareness of that will influence them to feel peace where they are. And your sense of all being well will rub off on them. And they will benefit more from your awareness of the rightness of all things than your sadness for them. No matter how something might look externally or how it might sound to you, you must know there is a greater intelligence, a greater awareness that is steering all things in the best possible way. And you must know that even though you do not have all of the information, you must trust that all is well. If you instead listen to their story and feel sad, as you usually do, as an expression of how much you care for this person, then you are bringing yourself down and you are enforcing for this person the wrongness that you feel about the situation that they are going through. You are making them feel like what they are going through is a problem and that it's wrong, instead of making them feel that it's a step on their path, and it's a necessary step, and it's a blessed step. Difficulties and pain are a part of your worldly experience. It's one side of the scale. The positive and the negatives that you experience need to be there, both of them, to balance each other out. They both have a purpose. If it did not have a purpose, it would not happen. Anything painful that happens has a purpose. You must hold that awareness in your heart. And instead of feeling sorry for people, salute their path, respect their path, and know that their path is different to yours. And so you may not know, you may never know what the purpose of their particular challenges are. But just know that it is right for their path. And although you might wish, like in your fairy tales, that people do not ever face pain or challenges, that is just not how your reality is set up. The shadow is a part of your experience, and so you must respect it. You must allow it to be there. You must learn from it, and you must see the love it has for you in the way it guides you. I felt like that was all on that topic. I hope that was helpful. This has been new for me as well. I've noticed that when I don't do it that way, when I feel sad for other people, I attract their issues very quickly. I attract things very quickly now, so I have to be very careful, very mindful. And I think this was an important thing to know, because a lot of us empaths, people who care a lot, people who are emotional or want the best for other people, we tend to draw in the other people's issues. It is also important to remember that other people's issues are not your own. Feeling sad for other people is completely unnecessary. You might feel sad in the sense that there is a level of grief in the shadow, is a level of grief when things are painful or when things are challenging. That is fine. We can express that grief. But do not mix in those thoughts of believing something is wrong, something has gone wrong. It shouldn't be this way. There's a purpose for everything. Oh. Then there was a question on a whole different level of consciousness that came out of the last week's video. And it's about, they asked, can you drink poison if you believe that it's not harmful? Because we talked about how beliefs are really important. And so they said, can you drink poison if you believe that it is not harmful? Now, I have my personal answer to that from my experience with Spirit, but I will let Spirit speak on this themselves. The illusion is that you can believe that something is not harmful when there is a consensus in your society and your culture that something is harmful. So, if you are all calling something a poison and you've gone through life learning that this is poisonous, then no, you cannot simply just decide that it's not poisonous and drink it and then expect to be fine. You must understand how your beliefs work. It is not about telling yourself on a conscious level that something is good for you. That can work over time if you repeat it enough times, but your personal repetition of a belief can usually not compete with the messages from your society over many years of established truths about something being harmful. And so it is unrealistic for you to override these established beliefs on your own. However, if you were completely oblivious to what society's idea of something is, then you can remain unaffected by it. However, that situation in reality is usually highly unlikely, because the awareness of something being poisonous will usually slip in different ways. However, you must also keep in mind that if you believe that something is good for you, then, and not just in your conscious mind, but if you have a conviction that is so established that you don't even necessarily have a conscious thought about it, that it is just a conviction, just as you believe that the sky is up and the ground is down, that something is good for you. If it is established to that level, then it will be good for you. However, there are two more conditions to this. There are some things that are programmed into your experience that you cannot override. They have a purpose. So, although you have freedom in terms of what you manifest, there are certain limitations that we have established for you that you must stick within. You must also keep in mind that if your belief is that something is dangerous and someone else's belief is that it's positive, when they engage in this activity that you believe is harmful and that they believe is positive, then your experience will be that it is harmful for them, and their experience will be that it is positive for them. And so, this is how your beliefs are reinforced, that you will see that your experience will be that My friend here thought that this was positive for them, and when they ingested this substance, it still harmed them despite their belief. Now, what happened here is that your belief was reinforced, and so you will always get the confirmation that your deeply held beliefs are correct. And this is why, with your conspiracy theories and your beliefs about an evil being out to get you, and a fearful thing, a threat looming over you, when this is a deeply held belief for you, this will be confirmed in your experience. It will not be until you are willing to challenge that belief, until you are willing to be open to being wrong, that you are even able to perceive another reality. You must be flexible in your beliefs in order to be open to different realities. And so, two people can have very different experiences of reality, and both will be confirmed correct by their experience. On this topic, I felt that it was a lot of truth condensed into few words. So I suggest that if this is something that is relevant for you, that you re-listen to it. Because I felt like Spirit they tend to not repeat themselves too much. They get to the core, they say the core of it, they say the truth of it, and then they move on. And so sometimes it does take a couple of listens. I do it myself. I listen a couple of times when needed. Let's see. Oh, here's another really good one. Shall I wait with that one? Yeah, I think I will wait because that's a very important one. So the next question is, can we reincarnate as animals? Just as a side note, I used to work as a past life regression therapist, and I've seen all kinds. I've seen people be mountains, wind, a rock. It was really wonderful experience. Okay, so can we reincarnate as animals? Of course, there is no limitation in spirit. Animals have a different type of consciousness, and you can choose to reincarnate as an animal if that is something that brings you joy, if that's something that calls you, or if it's necessary for your development. Absolutely, you can reincarnate as any aspect of consciousness, any aspect of reality, as anything. There is no separation between you and anything. And so you can step into the aspect of you that is a cat, or a cloud, or a mountain, or a tree. You can experience yourself as a thought form. There is no limitation in spirit. That was beautiful. I can already feel there's going to be some follow-up questions on this. Speaking of which, with the follow-up questions, the time difference is what's preventing Bahar today. But I'm hoping to sync up with her. Next question is, what does God think about astrology and how should we use it? The background on this question is some people that are religious have this fear of astrology, and there has been, but on the other hand, there's also mention of astrology in the major religions, and all of the major religions actually use astrology. They use the movement of the heavenly bodies. I know in Islam that's very fundamental, and also in Christianity, and definitely in Judaism. The movement of the heavenly bodies is what determines the timing of events and the best time to do things. And so, what does God think about astrology, and how should we best use it? Because I think there was a fear in terms of like, we shouldn't see astrology as something deterministic, like just because something is a transit is happening, it doesn't necessarily mean such and such must happen, because there are many manifestations of something. I don't know if that's clear enough, but okay, I'm gonna let Spirit speak on this. What does God think about astrology, and how should we use it? I rejoice in your use of astrology. If it gives you joy, it gives me joy. I am in you, and so what gives you joy gives me joy. I rejoice with you when you use it. This is one of the signs that you can use to interpret your reality. I speak to you through signs in all kinds of ways. And this is a system that is established for you, that has a great deal of history, with a lot of established truths that you can use for a reliable understanding of your reality, of your nature. You should use it in whatever way serves you. It is a tool to help you understand your reality. It is also a key to cosmic knowledge. It is a key to hidden knowledge. And in this way, some secrets can never be hidden, because nature speaks the truth. And so, through the system of astrology, you can observe not only your current reality, but the principles on which your reality is based. And many more mysteries will be revealed to you through this system, just like mathematics cannot lie and physics cannot lie. Astrology cannot lie, because it is based on your physical reality, your physical world, which of course is an illusion, but it is based, your illusion is based on firm principles. And by understanding these principles, you understand your world and your reality and your future and your past. And this can connect you to your past. It is manyfold, the benefits of astrology. It can be used for many purposes. And the deeper you dig into it, the more things will open up to you. You will find when you study astrology that secrets will reveal themselves. Some people that are new to astrology and new to applying it to their life, to their reality, might fear certain indicators, such as transits, for example, or planetary aspects. They might fear them. This is based on partly your tendency to fear the unknown, but also a lack of knowledge as to the many dimensions of all the heavenly bodies and the dynamics and the interactions of them with you. And so, even the most frightening to you transit or aspects can to you specifically be positive. So never fear, but also respect the energy of each of the heavenly bodies. You are more comfortable with some of them because they are gentle. Jupiter and Venus are gentle. The sun gives you energy. However, Saturn gives you much needed structure. Do not fear this. Do not fear this. Just like you would want your children to have structure when they grow up and to learn limitations and to learn when to do what and when to go to bed, so do you need structure in your life. And so, as uncomfortable as it might feel, know that it is a loving grandfather guiding you. Respect that as well. Even Mars, with its more difficult manifestations, teach you something. When something gives you a hit, when something is more aggressive, it is to wake you up. And so that too has a purpose. And so they each have a purpose. Do not fear any aspect. Do not fear any manifestation. Know that you can attract whatever is best for you. Even the most intimidating conjunctions, such as you had in your past year with Saturn and Pluto. Even that, as you will see if you are truly honest in your heart, even that has brought you blessings. Yes, it was difficult. It was inescapable. It was harsh and uncomfortable and painful. We know. But if you are honest with yourself in your heart, it also brought you blessings. And you are now, whether you acknowledge it or not, a more mature person. You are better for it. If you are to acknowledge the negative, be fair and acknowledge also the positive, because there is balance. You cannot go through negativity and challenges and not also receive the blessing. Acknowledge that. You will only harm yourself by acknowledging only the negative. Not only will you be inaccurate, but you will also be harming yourself. And so, we give our blessing to your use of astrology. The joy you feel in the use of it, we feel too. We feel it in your hearts. That is where we are hiding. So do whatever makes your heart sing, and you will make me happy. Oh wow, that was beautiful. That's nice. We got some extra guidance on that as well. Last question. So today we're going through these really fast because I don't have a half-hour long intro. So maybe we can continue on this in this way now that I've learned to shut this in the intro at least. Okay. Is manifesting for free, or do we need to give something or make a sacrifice? Because you know how in the past, or still, there's a very established belief that when we ask for something, we must give a sacrifice. I know that in Turkey, my culture of origin, they do expect that we make a sacrifice. We give a sacrifice in order to get a wish that we want. I know that Natalia talked about that a lot as well, in terms of you sacrifice something, you do something, and then you receive it. I know that's common in Native American cultures and in ancient cultures as well, because I went to Göbekli Tepe and I saw the sacrifices that I saw in my mind. There weren't any sacrifices going on at the time, but in the past they would make sacrifices there. And so, is there some truth to that? Because in the culture I've grown up in the Western culture, we can just pray for things, we can manifest things. There's no talk of any sacrifice. So this is a good question. I'm wondering this too, actually. I'm very curious about this as well. I'm just going to take a sip of coffee just to recharge. Okay, do we need to make a sacrifice when praying for something or when manifesting something, or is it for free? I think I need to give examples because I'm getting like a mixed bag of things on this. Okay, so let's say if I want, I don't know, I have this wish of, say if I want a material thing. Let's say I want to buy a car. I don't really, so I don't know if this is a good example because I'm not trying to buy a car, but let's try that. Let's see. So let's say I want to buy a car. Do I need to make a sacrifice for that? Yes. And you do, by arranging the finances, paying the price, and so you receive the car when you have paid your dues by perhaps paying the price. Okay, so I thought of another example now. So I know I received some ancient rituals, Native American rituals, where you pick flowers, you pick plants, and then you make a sacrifice of these. That's a part of the ritual. You make this sacrifice. You don't ask for things. You express gratitude and you sacrifice some. So you give, and you give thanks, and you give some kind of like the flowers that you picked, or the plants. So what's the theory behind? What's the idea behind that? What's the truth behind that? When you acknowledge what you have, by giving, you're opening up the channels to receiving. You are setting into motion the dynamic that brings in something. It's like when you open a window, you are giving out the air that is inside, but you are also receiving what's outside. So you must give in order to receive. If you consider that there is no emptiness in your life, in terms of energy, there is no emptiness. Something has to go out for something else to come inside. So, by acknowledging the blessings that you have and giving thanks for them, and by offering a gift, you are then acknowledging the abundance that you have, and more is given to you. So, giving something away is a confirmation of the abundance that you feel. Wishing for something without offering something tends to be from a mindset of lack, saying, I don't have something to give. I am lacking. I need something to come in. And that in itself attracts more lack, or the experience of lack, because there is no true lack. It attracts the experience of lack. And so you must practice the feeling of abundance, gratitude, expressing thanks for what you have, and that will bring in more. Okay, but how do we use this information? How do we, like, if there's something I really, really wish for, do I need to make a sacrifice? Do I have to make a sacrifice? Yes, in this way. Everything is always changing. And so it's not really possible to receive without giving. Not that you are doing it consciously necessarily, but because there is no empty spaces. So in order to receive anything, some energy has gone out for some new energy to come in. That is always the case, whether you are aware of it or not. But you can do this in a conscious way where you decide what goes and you decide what comes. Of course, one of the most key things in manifesting anything is gratitude. Reaffirming that you have what you need, reaffirming the abundance that you have. Positive focus. Focusing on anything draws it to you. Whatever you give your attention to, your thoughts, your look, your visual attention, your speech, whatever you give your attention to, you are pulling in, you are merging with. And so many of you are very sloppy with this because you do not know your power. You cannot see your power. You do not believe you are powerful. But if you were to test this and be very conscious of what you put your attention to, if you are very selective about what you put your focus on, then you will find that you are extremely powerful, and only that which you give your attention to will manifest. Okay, I got lost in that. I don't know if that answered the question. So do we need to give something? So let's say I want to achieve something. I want something to happen in my life. What do I need to make a sacrifice for that? Yes, the sacrifice might be your disciplined focus, your dedication. If you are not dedicated to thinking in alignment with your wish, to acting in alignment with your wish, if you are not doing that, you being the authority of your life, the rest of the consciousness of the universe cannot. You are the authority. You decide what is important. And if you do not act as if this is important, we cannot support you in that, because you are not supporting you in that. And so your thoughts, your visual attention, your speech, your actions must align with what you wish, must confirm and uplift that which you wish. instead of putting your focus, as many of you do, on only the things that you want to complain about. And in the process, finding that you are not able to manifest the things that you would like, and therefore confirming or reaffirming your feelings of powerlessness. Drop the habit of complaining. Nothing good comes out of it. Drop that habit. Take the time to align with what you want, mentally, emotionally, in your speech, in your visual attention. Do not look at things that horrify you. Be conscious of your actions. Why do you look at things that horrify you? Just to be able to say how horrific it is. Why do you do that? If you are willing to give of your most precious resource, which is your attention, which is your power, if you are willing, if you are prioritizing in that moment something horrific, why would the universe not meet you there and give power to that? That, out of all things, this horrific thing that you saw on Facebook is what you chose to put your attention to. This was your choice. It was your choice. So, take ownership. Know that you are powerful. Know that you are responsible. Know that nobody will come and save you. Know that you do not need saving. Know that you are powerful. And know that your every action matters. Your every word matters. Whatever you look at matters. What you choose to see matters. You are powerful. Those who are ready to shoulder the responsibility of that power will step into their greatness and acknowledge their God self. Those who shy away from the responsibility, who would prefer to hold other people responsible for their lives, they will not shoulder that power. They will choose not to be in their God self and have the experience of being powerless. You get to choose. It is your choice. You are the authority. You are the God. And so you choose. Oh, wow. That was really profound. I think I'm going to leave it at that, actually. I feel like I need to listen to that again and again. That was, so clear. That was such a clear message. Whew, I like that. I like that. And that was all of the questions. Thank you for the wonderful questions. Keep them coming. I really enjoyed these questions that I got on the last video. If you want to learn how to transmute energy as an alchemist, if you want to learn how to take what is given in your chart or with any transit coming up and transmute that to something positive, which is very appropriate with the theme for today, actually. If you want to learn how to do that and spend some time with me live on a webinar, then this week on the 23rd, I'm holding a webinar on remedies, on astrological remedies. So you learn the principles. You're going to learn the principles, how to use it. So you'll learn how to apply any kind of aspect, any planet, in any house, in any sign. And when you sign up for the webinar, the course is included. So this webinar is added to the course So it's just an addition to the course. So when you buy the webinar, you get the whole course. What's included is a manual where all of the principles are. The manual is really enough information. It has everything in there. But I think a lot of people like the support and they like me going through, giving more information and how to apply this. So apart from the manual, we also had a previous webinar that I've done before my health started acting up. So keep that in mind. That was before my health started. It was just when I was on the verge of, and so this, and you also get this new webinar this week. So it'll be 2 webinars and a manual, and you can join live this week. I look forward to seeing you there. If this is if this is a skill that you want to learn, if you're interested in alchemy, if you're interested in the esoteric sciences, or if you just want to learn how to manage your own chart and deal with some of the challenging patterns in your own life, this is highly recommended. This is how I got into astrology. This is one of the subjects that I'm most passionate about in astrology, because I want to heal. I want to heal people. I want to heal myself, and I think it's very important information. So if this is for you, if you feel the way I feel, I look forward to seeing you there. Any other information is in the description box. I look forward to your questions and your comments and all the love, all the connecting with you guys. I love the messages I've been getting. I love them, even though I can't always answer all the emails unless it's something urgent. I love the comments. I love seeing it. I love the support. I love all of the connections that I've made. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys are awesome. You guys give me a lot of joy in my heart. Bless you. Bye.